What's up you guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristian Hansen. In today's video, I've come to the far and remote islands of Wakatobi in southeast Sulawesi. And for the last 7 days, I've been living with the Bajo Tribe, also known as the Sea Gypsies, out in the middle of the ocean in their floating village called Sampela, in order to learn about their unique culture and their way of life. So let's get started from the very beginning of this incredible adventure. Let's go. Selamat pagi guys, it is another beautiful morning here in Indonesia, and this morning we're going to Wakatobi. So Mario, he just picked me up in his car because I really wanted to bring Mario along for a couple of days as well. So I asked him if he had time and he was so happy. So we are right now just in front of his place because his mother wanted to join us going to the port. So Mario is picking her up now. Then we have a couple of hours to drive to the port where we will take our first ferry of the day. So it's gonna be a good day. Selamat pagi Bu. Apa kabar? Baik. Sudah nonton video saya dari Butan ya? Suka? Wah, terima kasih Bu. Okay, let's go bro. Alright guys, around 2.5 hours later and we have almost arrived here at Limo port. The rain is definitely not stopping, only getting worse. Hopefully the ferry will still be here and take us to Wakatobi today. We will see. Halo. Selamat pagi.
Iya, pagi.
So the ferry arrives here in a couple of minutes at 9:30 and we're just paying for the ticket now. It's 105,000 per person to go to Wangi. What do we do now? We wait? Yeah. Okay. While waiting, I bought some fried bananas for 5,000 rupiah, a mere 30 US cents, and a bit of breakfast for Mario's mother. And it was then time to get on board. Alright guys, it is... I just went... Oh, that was close. Well, it's slippery here. It is almost 10 o'clock. The ship is here. Speedboat, fast boat. Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's go. Do you normally get seasick, bro? No? Good. I do. The waves can get pretty big, so if you have a tendency to get seasick, then best of luck to you. The ferry ride to Wangi port on Wangi Wangi Island takes around 2 hours. And if you need a ride, several drivers are waiting at the port to pick up new customers. Hello. Okay, be careful your head, sir. Alright, guys, we have made it to Wangi. And yeah, got a good little nap. Thank God, got rid of the seasickness. Now Mario has a friend that's gonna meet us here, that's gonna take us to a second port where we will take the next boat to the Kaledupa island. So we have around a 20 minutes car ride to the next port. And then yeah, the ship leaves at 2 o'clock, yeah?
1 or 2.
1 or 2, we don't know. In Indonesia we never know if it's 1 or 2 or 3.
Followernya million.
Million. So here on Wangi, there's actually a very famous Bajo village called the. But the reason why I'm not visiting that is because That is kind of the easy Bajo village to visit because it's very close here to the port. That's why we're going to one that's even further away. So in order to get to the next island, Kaledupa, we now have to drive to a port. But depending on the wind, the boat going there can be in 2 different small ports. So we're at the first one now, checking, and the boat wasn't here, which means the next boat is in another port. So yeah, we are trying to get there now. And then the Bajo village that we are going to, it is out in the middle of the ocean. It's a little bit more difficult to get to, but yeah, I also think it's a little bit more interesting when it's even more difficult to get there. As you have probably already figured out, traveling to these islands requires a bit of planning. Because at the moment, there are no flights to and from Wakatobi, and it's really hurting the tourism here. So your only options are ferries and smaller boats. Sometimes it'll just be a wooden boat, but that day it was luckily a speedboat, which should take 1.5 hours to Kaledupa. And if you haven't bought any snacks or food, a kind Ibu sells a big bamboo full of rice for just 3,000 rupiah. But we had luckily brought our fried bananas from the Lasalimo port. Biggest mistake of the day, guys. Only buying 3 of these from Ibu at Lasalimo port. If you go there, make sure you buy a lot of these. It's so good. But did the boat depart at 1 o'clock? It most certainly did not. But once we did depart, I was entertained by a local with a story from which I understood absolutely nothing.
Kota Maju. Jerman.
Kota Maju?
Pemain bolanya juga oke.
Oh ya?
Cewek-ceweknya juga beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Iya,
Yeah, very beautiful.
Saya punya keluarga di Jakarta di Jerman di sekolah.
And after that wonderful conversation, we were welcomed to Kaledupa with a little bit of rain.
Masuk.
Well, we have arrived, guys, and it didn't exactly take 1 hour. It took 2 hours, but we are here now. So let's go.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Tabi. Let's go. Halo Pak. Hujan. That was the second boat. Now we need to find the third boat. We're almost there. Alright, guys, now that we've made it to our second island, Kaledupa, let me tell you a little bit about Wakatobi. So here in Wakatobi there are 4 islands. The first one we visited is Wangi Wangi. The second one we're on now is called Kaledupa. The third one is called Tomia, and the fourth one is called Pinongko. And that together, if you take the first 2 letters of each island, becomes Wakatobi. But now we need to get in the boat, which apparently doesn't have a roof, to get to Sampela, so we're about to get wet.
Are you gonna be in this boat also? Where?
We were then picked up by our homestay owner, Pak Duda, who is born and raised in the Bajo village of Sampela. The trip from the port luckily only takes around 10 minutes. And upon arriving, it feels like you're entering a whole different kind of world. It's like being in Venice, in Italy. We were welcomed at our homestay by Kevin, Paduda's second son. And as the rain was pouring down, we spent a good hour talking with Paduda, as we were here to learn and understand. and I had a million questions before we started exploring. But the rain didn't seem to let up, and we needed to buy a few provisions before it got dark. But that would turn out to be a bit more difficult than I had thought.
I think this is reaching though, so happy, yeah? Yeah, that's it. Ooh. This is so cool. It's taking forever just to go to the one room.
The tropical weather of scorching sun and heavy rainfall had taken its toll on these primitive paths. As it's the nearby houses' responsibility to change them, they haven't been so in the last 10 years.
Okay. Sudah sampai di warung. Let's see what they have. Selamat sore.
There are several of these small shops, aka warungs, where you can buy various snacks and drinks. They also have a small mosque, which seemed to be under construction. But the imam told me that they unfortunately didn't have the funds to finish it. And before I started filming a whole lot, I met with the head of the village, Pagamis, to ask for his blessing, which he luckily approved of.
Alright guys, it has been a very long day, and I think I can safely say for both Mario and myself, we are quite tired. Yeah. So we have spent the afternoon, evening here basically learning as much as we can about Sampela, the people, the village, and I have so much information about this place now, and I'm so excited about showing you guys all that I have learned. It is gonna be some incredible days here, I know that for sure. And I'm so happy that Mario is here with me for a couple of days to experience this together. But now Paduda has cooked a lot for us, so we are starving. Let's eat, and tomorrow we start exploring Sampela Village. Makan.
On that first night, I couldn't stop thinking about those bridges. So I made a post on my social media, and just maybe it would attract some attention. At Sampela, we wake up when the sun rises, to the subtle sound of small boat engines. My neighbors are already up and preparing for school. A woman stops by our homestay in her small canoe to sell freshly baked goods for our morning coffee. She continues on to the many other floating houses who are also getting ready to start the day. Selamat pagi, guys. It is another beautiful morning here in Indonesia. Mario and I have arrived here at Desa Sampela, the Bajo village, and it is unlike anything I have ever seen before. It is so beautiful, it is so special. I don't even know where to start making video. And this morning when we woke up, the rain had passed. It was super cozy though, all night falling asleep. You could just hear the rain over the roof. But this morning, it looks pretty clear. Mario and I, we got up and got ourselves a cup of coffee, talked a bit, and planned here for the next days. So the thing is, the bridges here in between the small houses, they're in really poor condition. And we also saw the mosque yesterday, which they are trying to expand, but it has stopped because they don't have enough funds.
So there's a lot of ways that we can help. So Mario and I are trying to coordinate that now, and we'll see what we can do. For sure, it's gonna be a very, very special week here on the channel.
But let me just quickly show you our homestay in Sampela. Paduda has built this entirely himself by slowly buying materials whenever he had a bit of money left over. It has 2 rooms and a big open porch right in front of the ocean, along with a small common room in the middle. But the funniest thing is the bathroom, as you feel like you're going to the bathroom in an aquarium. And as I was eager to see the village in daylight, we headed out as we passed Duda's youngest son, Ali, who was doing his morning karate. So this is the path they have to walk every day. And yeah, you definitely have to mind your steps. They tell me that so many people have fallen here. Even sometimes the kids, they will fall and they will get really badly hurt. So yeah, we have to do something about this bridge. The houses in Sampela are either built on coral rocks and concrete or a cheaper version of wooden poles. The wooden bridges that connects them are only changed when the nearby families have enough to pool their savings. But it's expensive and they often have to resort to cheaper options. And while the kids are in school, the adults tend to their daily tasks. A fisherman has caught some parrotfish and a triggerfish this morning using his spear gun. And several of the women spend the morning cooking. But what surprised me the most, compared to my previous village visits, is the way that the kids play. I've yet to see any kid sitting alone and playing on their phone. The signal here is great and many have phones, but somehow they seem more interested in playing with each other. So guys, it is still the rain season, so we're kind of stuck in the rain under a house here in the middle of the village. And yeah, that is what the people here tells us. A lot of the days they will end up being like this. If it's just raining, there's not much to do. People are either sitting inside, maybe fixing an engine, or yeah, showering out in the rain. That's one of the things I really love about the village life. It's pretty much controlled by how the weather is. Paduda's father-in-law, Pa Bahar, the guy in the red polo, then introduced us to a guy who could help. Pa Laeto is a wood supplier in Sampela who could sell me some wood for fixing up a couple of bridges. And this way, my money would go back into the community. His price was 3.5 million rupiah, or $250 per cubic meter. I quickly realized that my own funds wouldn't be sufficient, but what I didn't know at the time was that my posts from last night were going viral. So while we were negotiating, donations were flooding in to help. So Palaeto gave me his best price, and I promised him to buy as much as I possibly could. And as we came back to the homestay, I realized that the crowdfunding post I had shared with my followers had already pooled nearly 30 million rupiah, or $2,000. So I talked with Paduda, Bahar and the Imam to discuss how we could put these funds to good use. Alright guys, it is makan siang time here at our small homestay. Yeah, I feel like we have found a lot of the places where the bridges they need
replacement. Now we just have to get it all started, and it's actually a lot more than we thought. We need, was it 11 cubic meters of wood. The only thing that's slowing us down a bit is that it's raining all the time, and now it's raining again. Makanulu.
Even when it's pouring, the kids are still outside playing, sailing in a plastic bucket, or using a piece of styrofoam as a boogie board. The ocean is their playground. And there is no need to worry, because they swim as well as the fish beneath them. And so, with the donations continuing to come in, we bought our first 5 cubic meters of wood. And as the rumors had started to spread about our project, many had showed up to help. There are so many people helping, and I had no idea what they were talking about, as they speak their own language, Bahasa Bajo. But it looked like they were having a great time. We had collected our first batch of wood, and it felt like a big step, but this was just the beginning. The first day in Sampela had been fantastic and full of new impressions, so I fell asleep before the sun set, so I'd be ready, bright and early, to go fishing. The majority of the Bajo people are fishermen and women, and they have a deep connection to the sea. Sometimes they will use nets, some days a spear gun, but this morning Papahar is using his line. Traditionally, the Bajo people are known for their nomadic seafaring lifestyle, as they used to live on small houseboats. But in the 1960s, the government helped build the Sampela Village, also known as Sampela, in an effort to settle these nomads. This is a good thing, Paduda tells me, as their ancestors' lifestyle was hard. Every day was a fight against the waves, looking for fish so they had something to eat. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, but Papahar has been up for hours, hoping the rain would pass. He fishes nearly every day, and sometimes it's enough to feed the family. Other times, he might be able to sell some as well. He drops his line down to 40 or 50 meters depth, and from the micro vibrations in the line, he can feel in his finger if small fish are eating his bait. And today, he's lucky. Only after 15 minutes of fishing, he pulls out a 4-kilo GT or a giant trevally. And that's 100,000 rupiah right there. I think we've been out for about 1 hour, and it is definitely a job that requires a sincere amount of patience. But at the same time, it's also not very stressful because you're just sitting here, it's incredibly quiet. All we can hear is the raindrops falling on top of our rain jackets. It's really nice and relaxing actually. However, my legs are not made for the cross-legged position. And after 30 minutes of silence, I gotta do something. Luckily, Pabahar, he loves my jokes. I then finally got to catch a fish. A leopard coral grouper. And as we had picked it up from 40 meters depth, the expanding air inside of it nearly makes its tongue pop out of its head. And this is also why they become buoyant when they get close to the surface.
Masih bisa makan? Bisa, ya.
Paduda had told me that when he was a kid, there were so many fish. Plenty to eat and plenty to sell. But today is a little bit different. Each year, they have to travel further and further away to find the fish. A big problem for the future, as no fish means no money to buy rice. People here think mostly about what they need today, and not so much about what the kids need in the future. They don't have that luxury, Paduda says. Alright guys, it's makan siang time here in Sampela. And now Pabahar, he has actually cooked the big fish that we caught. So yeah, we're gonna have it now for lunch. We asked if he wanted to sell it, and his comment was, yeah, sometimes you have to enjoy it as well. So that's what we're gonna do now. And some really good news. It is Monday now, 12 o'clock, and in just 1.5 days, we have raised 60 million rupiah. We are checking the account like every second hour, and it just keeps growing. When we first started raising the funds, we thought, yeah, maybe we can get 5 or 10 million or something like this, but now 60 million. It's gonna be good. But first a quick nap to the calming sound of the ocean below me and the rain outside my window, as the kids eagerly wait for me to wake up. Alright guys, we have come to mainland for the first time in days, because we're trying to find a bank where we can potentially take out all of this cash that we have to use to buy the wood. And actually my father, he asked me today, why don't you just transfer the money to the guy who has the wood? And I would. The problem is almost no one on Sampela has a bank account. That's why we have to pay in cash. But after visiting the small bank branch, we realized that we could only take out 10 million rupiah per day. So it would take us nearly 1 week to withdraw it all. But on our way back, we got a phone call. The wood supplier told us that there might be someone in his family who had a bank account. And I thought we had solved our biggest problem. But this was just the beginning. So guys, this afternoon we have conveyed the small council here behind me, because we have a bit of a problem. The wood that we had already ordered is supposed to come in just a few days, but now they're saying that it will probably not arrive until after I have left.
and that's not really an option because I want to be able to see the work being done here. So right now I have no idea what we're gonna do. Hopefully we can find some kind of solution.
Because finding large quantities of wood on a remote island is not easy. But I had already started this project, so we had to keep going. And the next step was finding someone who would help us build it.
Banyak orang di sini senang sama kalian ada ini jembatan baru bikin.
So apparently the word is already spreading that Thursday we're gonna start construction, and it seems like everybody is just happy and ready to get started. So that really brings up my spirit.
So to my surprise, I barely had to do any promoting because everyone was ready and happy to work for free for a better Sampela.
Kita mau mulai perbaiki jembatan. Oh iya. Oh iya. Okay.
Halo. Badan ya nak dialak memang no.
We found 4 cubic more. Guys.
One of the elders then came to find me to ask if I could please have a look at the bridge near his house. At this point, I wasn't even sure that we would have enough money or if we could source all of the wood we needed. But I promised Papa that we would fix this bridge as well. And it wasn't just Papa who was grateful. Because as we continued, I was offered a few girlfriends as well.
Mungkin kalau ada waktu mungkin bisa bantu.
Bisa.
Bagus. Nanti ada makanan, minuman.
Nanti ada duda juga.
Hah? Ada
Duda. Biar aku yang turun.
Duda? Ya.
Janda saya mau cari kakak duda. Janda.
Oh.
Cari tanya.
And as everyone would be working for free, we went to buy supplies to ensure that everyone would have enough food, drinks, and most importantly, cigarettes during the build. And we visited several different shops so that the money we spent didn't just benefit one shop, but went back into the community.
Ibu, siap untuk hari Kamis?
I was so excited about this project, and we were then called to the head of the village home, which I assumed would be to offer help. But I could quickly tell from the vibe that something was not right. We did not film during the meeting, but every time I looked over my shoulder, I could see a full crowd trying to overhear the verdict of this meeting.
Alright guys.
It's been a really long day.
It's been a really long day. The project almost fell apart today. I will not go into great details about it, but I will just say that because of some netizen comments about Abule taking action, we were almost not allowed to do this project. But luckily we found a good solution, and today we bought a ton of material.
And they were so excited, all the people. Just, can't wait, thank you, can't wait, thank you.
Good job today, bro. Makan. Silakan. And actually I have one more special surprise. Let's just say that the last day of construction is gonna be a big day. Yeah? Okay.
Mario is a rather famous tour guide for his trips around Buton, Wakatobi and Lapinki Island. So he unfortunately had to go back to work. But I didn't have much time to feel alone.
Selamat pagi. Selamat pagi. We have a morning karate battle.
It's a regular Monday morning in Sampela, and the village is slowly waking up. Another way the residents of Sampela makes an income is from seaweed. They sell it to Bao, and it's a big industry in Indonesia, as roughly 250,000 households depends on it. But it's a hard job, because the prices fluctuates a lot, and at the moment they can only sell it for 10,000 rupiah per kilo dry weight, and they have no bargaining power with the traders. That morning, I wanted to visit their school, and on our way, we passed the mosque. We had raised a lot, but I knew it still wouldn't be enough for both the bridges and the mosque. But luckily, good deeds rarely goes unnoticed, and as I looked at my phone, I had received a very special message. At the moment, 2,180 people lives in the floating village of Sampela, and 50% are kids. But only 500 of them are choosing to go to school. They have primary school all the way up to senior high school, but only 18 students attend the senior high school as they get tired of studying.
Assalamualaikum.
The teachers travel from Kaledupa Island, and this morning the teacher is not happy with their students, because over the weekend the children have played inside the classroom and made a mess. So before teaching starts, they gotta make up the classroom, and they do so right away without any complaining. But there aren't a whole lot of teachers on Kaledupa Island, and if they are late, the kids, they have to wait. And if they're out sick, no one shows up. Similar to their hospital that hasn't been open since the day I arrived. But Adelia, she comes in early anyway, because one day she wants to be a police officer. The bridges in Sampela are not the only thing that could use a bit of fixing.
So, one of the things about the life in the Sampela village is that it's difficult for them to collect rainwater, and yeah, they can't exactly drink the water from the ocean. So several times a week, every week, they have to go to Kaledupa, the nearby village here, to buy water, fresh water, both for drinking and for showering. And they bring these jargons of 10 liters each, and they fill them up, and each jargon is 500 rupiah for 10 liters. So it's quite cheap, but it requires quite a lot of work to get your water. So it really makes you think when you're showering, am I using 2 scoops or 3 scoops? Because the more you can save, the less times you have to go out on the ocean to buy new water. Selalu unduk ke Kaledupa untuk beli air atau?
Ya, selalu.
Selalu ya?
Ya.
Jadi kuat ya?
Ya, jadi kuat. Kenapa hitam ini kena matahari, kena air?
Oh ya.
The more time I spent in Sampela, the more I realized just how many places that really needed some form of restoration. And the bridges were definitely the right place to start.
So we went out to buy more wood. This morning, guys, we're out picking up another 5 cubic here, and then as soon as we've brought that back to the village, we're gonna go to another village and we're gonna get another 5 or 6 cubic more. So we're really starting to get quite a lot of wood collected together, because we start in just 2 days. We had now collected nearly 20 cubic meters of wood, and we were almost ready to get started. But the day wasn't over just yet, because this afternoon I would get to experience something truly unique. But before heading out, Kevin first had to get a Gillette haircut, as they called it. All they use is a Gillette blade and a comb, as this is a cheap and fast way to get a fresh fade. So don't get a haircut before coming to Sampela. Just ask Unduk to give you a Gillette haircut. Alright guys, it's the afternoon and the tide is very low here in Sampela Village. And that means that everyone is going out to look for small fish that has been trapped. So I see at least 100 people now just walking around, and they are using these long sticks to kind of try and catch the fish. So of course we gotta try that as well.
Hey! Boleh saya lihat, bro? Hey, bagus, bro. Good job.
Everyone walks in a long line with a big net, trying to pull the fish together, with something sharp in their hand and a bucket tied to their waist to store the fish. And once the tide gets low enough, it's every man for himself. This doesn't happen very often, so once it does, they'll try to catch as much as they possibly can. And the kids absolutely loves it. I was tempted to give it a try, but with my feet sinking into the cool and mushy ocean floor, I chose to soak up every moment of this view, feeling grateful to be standing right in the middle of this unique cultural phenomenon. And just as you think this vibrant sky is about to fade as the sun sets, it suddenly erupts into a burst of colors. Even after the sun sets, they soldier on with torches. Just another incredible day in wonderful Indonesia.
Selamat siang, guys. So, if there is one thing the Bajo people are known for, it's fishing. But if there's one thing I haven't tried before, it's spearfishing. There's an island right here next to Sampela called Hoga, and over there it's supposed to be really good
to do spearfishing. So let's grab the gear and let's go and see how good the Bajo people they really are at holding their breath and spearfishing. Lauda is quite famous for his spearfishing skills. He doesn't use diving equipment like fins or a tank. He simply uses a pair of goggles he made himself from wood and 2 pieces of glass, his spear gun, and that's it. He takes a couple of deep breaths and then dives down to 7 or 8 meters depth. A bit different from typical diving standards. He walks barefoot on the ocean floor. But the fish are quick. And he's gotta go back to the surface to reload. Today there aren't a lot of big fish, and it's a lot of effort and physical work for the small fish he eventually catches after more than 1 hour. I was just treading water above him, and I can tell you, it was exhausting. But adults are not the only ones who enjoy spearfishing. The kids, they do it as well for fun. They make their own mini spear guns from a rubber band and a thin needle-like stick. And they catch a lot more than Lauda and I did.
Dapat.
Paduda then thought that it was time for me to try a local delicacy, something he called Bajo sushi. He first cleans the fish and then cuts it into fillets. The meat is then chopped into small pieces. He adds a little bit of salt and squeeze the juice from 3 limes. And voila, Bajo sushi. Hopefully this will not give me sakit perut.
Tidak.
Tidak ya? We try.
Coba.
Nasi?
Makan ini. Enak sekali.
Wow. Oke, enak.
Enak.
Ikan ini dapat tadi pagi ya?
Ya,
Ya?
makan banyak.
Definitely first time I've tried eating sushi with a local tribe in Indonesia. Later I'll update you if I get a really upset stomach, but hopefully not. Terima kasih ya.
Sama-sama. Kalau untuk proyek yang kita mau bikin besok itu, semua masyarakat siap untuk kerja gotong royong. Mereka senang sekali kita bisa bantu dengan kayu, dengan paku, dengan makanan, dengan rokok. Sebentar kita bisa bagi kayu, nanti kita hitung berapa titik 1 kebutuhan dan titik 2 berapa, 4, 5 berapa. Nanti kalau sudah selesai semua kita bisa cari yang tidak masuk di titik. Dan ini di titik ini yang ini tidak masuk di titik dan rusak, kita bisa ada kayu. Kalau bisa cukup ada kayu di rumah. Sudah lama baru tidak tahan ada hujan, matahari, dan kayu tidak kuat di matahari. Kena habis hujan, kering, lapu. Besok bisa jalan di jembatan bagus. tidak melihat mana yang lubang, mana yang mau patah. Mungkin besok biar kita jalan begini tutup mata sudah tidak pikir oh nanti saya jatuh di sini ada.
Selamat malam, guys. It has been another fantastic day, and I can finally say that we are fully ready for tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. I'm so excited about tomorrow. So many days of planning, buying materials, double checking everything. Hopefully tomorrow everyone is ready to work and do their part to make this village even better. So I really have to go to bed now because tomorrow we start at 7 o'clock. Good night, guys. Selamat pagi, guys. It's Thursday morning. It is 18 minutes past 6. And Paduda, he just told me, I'm sorry, I think you gotta eat fast because everyone has already started working. So let me quickly throw in some fried rice and yeah, let's get started with the day as well. I'm just happy that they are excited about getting started. Let's go. It's gonna be a good day. Selamat pagi. Kita bikin jembatan. Oh, everyone is so happy. Selamat pagi.
Pagi. Bikin papang.
Sudah mulai ya?
Ya, mulai. Terima kasih besar sama kita. Banyak-banyak.
Saya senang sekali bisa.
Bisa jalan-jalan, tidak lagi rusak, tidak lagi jatuh, tidak lagi patah, sudah bagus nih. Ini kan permintaan Bapak dari sana. Terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih kembali.
Iya.
As they're taking off all of the old wood now, you can really see all the boards that is holding this bridge together underneath is completely rotten. So it's really good that we are changing everything. Selamat pagi. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
This has truly become a team effort. Everyone is helping. Even the neneks, the grandfathers, the young kids, the mothers are cooking, and fantastic to see everyone is just engaged and helping each other. Kerjasama. Masih kuat?
Masih.
I will tell you this, the Bajo people sure knows how to work fast when they come together as one. They call this Gotong Royong, and it means mutual assistance. It's a concept deeply rooted in Indonesian culture. It embodies the idea of working together for the common good, where everyone contributes to and benefits from collective efforts. And just as everything was going so well, I noticed that the kids were waving at the ocean. That was because a tornado was heading our way. So we all took cover, fast. Besides our safety, I was now worrying what would happen to our project. But my faith was quickly restored as I saw Kevin continuing to work through it. The tornado luckily passed and everyone got back to work.
build was going well, and it was going fast. But as I started checking out our progress, I was suddenly starting to doubt whether it would even be enough. As soon as we finish one piece of bridge, then everyone comes over very fast and like, oh yeah, but we also have a piece here and we also have a place here where we could make it better. So as much happiness as these bridges are bringing that we are building today, it's not nearly enough for what they need. That is the reality of it. We are maybe making 15 or 20% of this village bridges better. Hi guys. But they could use so much more help. And it kind of makes me think there has to be some kind of institution that are supposed to help with stuff like this. So private people shouldn't have to pay for an entire village restoration. But for now, I'm just so happy that we can help when there is no one else to help. So while we have been working in the other side of the village, we have now come over to the more eastern part of the village, and they have made a lot here already. So good to see. So now we're trying to coordinate and figure out, do we have more wood left on the other side of the village so we can bring it here, so we can fix even more here. So a lot of coordination, but so nice to see that all of this planning and all of this hard work is paying off.
From having to watch every single step you took when I first arrived here, it was amazing to see that even before we were finished, people were now walking around freely without any worry about falling. And we then all took a small break.
So guys, the status is that we are almost finished already with all of the bridges. So here at 1 or 2 o'clock we're taking a small break. We'll finish the last part in the afternoon, and then tomorrow I'll show you how the finished result look like. But I can tell you that the people here are very happy. Hello guys! Hello!
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Woi, ada ikan! Ada ikan!
Halo.
Halo!
Halo.
Halo seheku! Bagus ya.
Terima kasih banyak.
It had been another incredible day in Indonesia. And it seemed like this Gotong Royong had sparked a light of positivity all across the village, as everyone seemed to be in a fantastic mood. Paduda had even made a small surprise for me, which he thought would fit well on the new bridge. We finished the day by adding a small extension to the homestay, so when you come to visit one day, you can walk straight from the homestay onto the main bridge. And as the sun set over Sampela, we finished the last part of the bridge.
This is it. A lot of hard work, a lot of hours, a lot of planning later. This is the final nail and the bridge is finished.
Okay. Good job, bro. Terima kasih ya.
All the generous donations had now been put to good use, and it was time to rest up and prepare for my last day in Sampela. A day full of surprises and one epic celebration.
Selamat pagi, guys. It is unfortunately my last morning here at Sampela, and it started just perfect. Woke up in the morning and my friend Jan was already outside waiting for me to come out, and together with Babahar and Paduda, we sit together in the morning and have coffee in front of my small room before the day starts. But my last morning here is a special morning because for the last 8 days now I've been waking up every morning, coming out, looking over the ocean and seeing this small house next to me. And this house, they don't really have a lot. First of all, they don't have a bridge. So every time they need to go somewhere, they need to get into the boat. This family also has 5 kids. 4 of the kids are still living in the house, and it is quite expensive having 4 kids. And that means that they don't even have a full roof on the house. They only have half. So yesterday I asked my mother in Denmark, her husband, my father in Denmark, and his wife if maybe they were interested in helping a little bit, because we already spent all the money on the bridge, and they said yes. So yesterday afternoon, Duda and his family, they helped me buy a new roof, and this morning we broke the news to Pa Latali, and he was so grateful. His job is to collect all the trash from the village and burn it when there's a low tide. And when I saw his t-shirt this morning, I nearly cried. He has no idea what the meaning is. When I saw that, I was like, this is a sign. So let's help this family get a roof on top of their house.
Pa Latali got started right away. But I called a few friends. So Rudy, Dedi, and Ardi, they came over to help out as well. And Pa Latali said that it was okay I gave you guys a small tour of his house.
Ya? Oh, terima kasih Pak. Selamat pagi. Boleh saya masuk Bu? Ya, nggak apa-apa. Halo Dek. Sini nggak ada juga ya?
Iya. Kalau hujan masuk ke dalam rumah.
Yeah.
Gemes.
So guys, small change of plans. After I came over here, I realized that the floor here is made from very old bamboo and it's completely broken. One wrong step and you will just fall through. And the guys, they told me you can get one long bamboo to make a lot of floor for only 25,000 rupiah. So we've just ordered 5 bamboos from Kaledupa, which you'll pick up later, so we can fix the floor as well. Fix the floor of an entire house for 125,000 rupiah. We gotta do that.
Even with heavy wind gusts, the guys started fitting the thin metal roof. This simple style of roof can last nearly 10 years and keep Pa Latali and his family dry at night for the mere cost of 3.5 million rupiah.
Oh. Eh bro. Senang? Bagus.
All these happy kids made such a massive impact on my experience in Sampela. So as it was my last day, we spent a couple of hours playing around in their favorite element.
So guys, it is my last time here in Sampela Village with the Suku Bajo, and it really makes me think about just how much I have experienced over these last couple of days. I came here just because I wanted to visit them and learn about their life, but it ended up becoming so much bigger than that. I've really gotten to know several more Indonesian families here, and especially become close with Paduda's family. This has been beyond any expectations I ever had. Don't forget to visit this place. It is truly unique. The people are so kind, and you will get an experience unlike anything you have ever had before. It is a long way to come here, but it is so worth it. And I can tell you this, I won't be forgetting this experience anytime soon. And I don't think they will either.
The Gotong Royong project had been a success because more than 300 kind souls from various parts of the world had helped this small Indonesian village raise 75 million rupiah in 3 days. Because of you, these lovely people can now more safely get to work, go to school, or simply run around the village. We tried our very best to put your donations to good use in the places that needed it the most. Thank you for your trust. We then only had one thing left to do, and that was to celebrate.
Selamat sore. Tabe. Halo. Halo seheku.
Halo seheku. Halo seheku. Joget-joget.
Siap Bu. Terima kasih.
Siap. Kasih tahu dia nanti joget-joget.
As a thank you, the mothers offered to cook for everyone with the supplies we had left from the build, and it was then time for a proper village party. But I had saved a special surprise for this occasion, so I then told them all that the foundation Kita Bisa had heard our story and donated 50 million rupiah to help rebuild the mosque. We then spent the rest of the afternoon dancing and enjoying the delicious coconut rice pudding that the lovely Ibus had made for us all.
Perfect ending to a perfect stay. Enak, minat.
Wah, keren. Bagus. Terima kasih banyak. Sama-sama, Bro.
Ngabunan nasi siang.
it was time to say goodbye to Sampela. But before leaving, I made a small visit to Pak Latali and his family, who had now finished installing the new roof, and they had received the bamboo for the new floor. The 50 million Kitabisa has donated will help a lot, but we still have a long way to go before being able to finish the restoration and the ongoing expansion, as the mosque is simply too small to fit everyone come Ramadan. So if this video has inspired you, we have created a campaign on Kitabisa's website where it's possible to help support this mosque building project. I will put the link in my YouTube video description. I thought that Paduda would just drop me off at the port, but a few more friends had shown up to see me off. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of my Bajo family for an experience I will never forget. One thing is for sure, we will meet again.
So actually I have a special song for our captain here, Paduda, and it goes like this. Everybody sing a song, dooda, dooda. Now everybody sing a song, oh the dooda day, oh the dooda day, oh the dooda day. Now everybody sing a song, oh the dooda day. Hey!